Hello everyone, we are here with another Modern video. This time we're playing Enduring Renewal in Modern. So we are playing Enduring Renewal because Beseech the Mirror grants it a little bit of extra consistency, acting as copies 5 through 8. Other than that, Enduring Renewal traditionally played 0 drops like Ornithopter or maybe the Kobolds alongside Goblin Bombardment to loop them a whole bunch and deal infinite damage. Our versions of those today are Meathook Massacre and Altar of the Brood, so both of these don't target getting around One Ring protection or Leyline of Sanctity protection. Altar can be searched out by Urza's Saga, which gives us a little bit of extra redundancy in finding our combo pieces. And then our 0-drop creatures can be played as an actual creature for value if we need them to. We can have a decent creature beatdown plan between Urza's Saga and like hardcasting Hangerbacks and Walking Ballistas. Our sideboard is a pretty standard arrangement of ways to deal with things on the board, ways to deal with things in the opponent's hand, and then Leyline of Sanctity here because Rakdos is getting bigger again, and it's also not bad against Prowess. Hope of Ghirapur can be looped infinitely with Enduring Renewal, which is pretty sweet, and some decks can't beat a Hope of Ghirapur every turn because they just rely on non-creature spells. So against some decks that can be a hard lock. I think I'm maybe interested in putting another Hope or two in the board potentially for a situation like that. So I've already played the matches and I'm recording this after I played them. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys that if there is only one match that you have time for, I would definitely recommend watching match number 3. That is the match against Prowess. So we had a very funny situation happen in the last game of that match, the deciding game. And, well, I think I don't remember if it went to 2 or 3. But in the last game of that match, we had a situation where we won without our combo and without a creature beatdown plan. So I'll leave you to think about how that might have happened. Again, I recommend checking that out if you only have time for one match. One other thing is that recently I was informed that it is sometimes a little bit hard to find my channel on YouTube. If you Google like MTG Mint or anything like that, you get like MTG Mint card or like various types of mint condition, card grading type stuff. So if you want those updates and you want to see when I throw a new video up, definitely consider subscribing if you are interested, and then you get those updates. It also helps the channel out. And without any further ado, let's get into match number 1. Okay, so we are here in round number 1. We are on the draw. I don't feel like we can keep this hand. Well, I mean, we do have 2 lands, but they're both Urza's Saga, which is a little bit risky. I mean, we do have turn 1 Altar, turn 2 Walker. On turn 3, something would come off, and we can get a Springleaf Drum, which means that with our Walker in play, we can potentially play the Profane. I think I am actually going to keep this, although I think it is risky. I mean, we do get a couple draw steps to draw a... Okay, I mean, that's fine. So they discard their hollow ones, so that's pretty good. We do draw into some other lands. That's very nice. So we now have all of our pieces. So I'm going to play a Watery Grave, and then we can preordain. And I think I will keep both of these. The preordain will help me if our hand gets messed up again. Turn 2, we're looking at suspending a Profane with this Urza's Saga. Probably then turn 3 Meathook, and turn 4 Beseech for Enduring Renewal is the idea. We will have the Meathook plus a Walker, so we can potentially or we will have good Beseech food, basically I'm saying, even if we play the Saga on 2. So I do want to suspend the Profane though, because again, if our hand gets messed up by like another Burning Inquiry, I want the ability to like go fix it with whichever card is needed. So the question is, next turn, what are we doing? Is there cycling a Street Wraith? Maybe playing a hollow one? I'd be relatively okay with that. Okay, they have an Asmo. So, get their cookbook. And that's pretty straightforward. I mean, I don't think we'll be under potentially lethal threat next turn. I mean, their best set of plays from here probably is like cookbook, discard, oval chase, land, play a hollow one for one, which is strong, but it's not kill us next turn strong. Meanwhile, you know, we do get to just put this. Oh, they have Vengevine. That could be stronger. It's hollow on here, bring back Vengevine. Okay, it's Ragavan, bring back Vengevine. That's noticeably more scary. So now we need to actually do some math. We do get to kill the Ragavan with Meat Hook, though, which is good. They're going to hit us for 4 here. Next turn, they can hit us for 7. Assuming we kill the Ragavan, obviously. So, Profane ticks down. Draw for turn. We actually do need to be a little bit careful about our colors of mana, though, because we do not have the correct colors. And in fact, we need to draw... Well, okay, we only need to draw something if our Profane Tutor goes bad. I'm going to get a Swamp. And then I'm going to Meat Hook for 1. So we need to get a black land with the Profane so that we can Beseech. But we do kill Ragavan here, which is nice. Probably weren't expecting Meat Hook. We do gain a life from this as well, which is nice. So, I mean, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're taking 7. So 1 Vengevine doesn't do it on its own. Even like Vengevine dash Ragavan doesn't do it. I feel like we're pretty likely to survive. I mean, the scariest thing would be maybe if they have some sort of like Haywire Might or something like that. That could kill our Saga, set us back a turn, and then we could be in a bit of trouble. But hopefully they don't have that. Burning Inquiry could also mess up our hand potentially, although we do have 3 cards we don't really care about. So maybe we're okay there. Okay, so they're discarding Ox. They have only 6 cards in their yard right now. They're going to hit us for 7, down to 7. We do have the interesting situation here of after our Saga goes off, do we sack the Meat Hook or do we sack the artifact? I think we probably sack the artifact, the altar. It's going to our upkeep. We're bringing off this Profane. And again, we need to get a black source here, so I'm just going to get a basic Swamp. And we pass to draw step, and in response to our trigger, we float a mana. And we let the trigger happen. We can get Altar of the Brood. No reason to show them Springleaf Drum. I'm going to, I think, sack the altar and go for the Meat Hook kill. It is faster, which saves clock time. The altar does give us information about their deck, but they could potentially have things out of the graveyard that I'd be a little bit annoyed with. You know, maybe they have like a bolt in hand, and then I don't know. I don't think they'd be playing like Creeping Chill or Flame or Lava Dart, but just in case. I don't feel like I need to like look at the specific contents of their deck that much to the point where I'd take like those slightly more risky line. I also think it's more likely that they have some way to kill Alter at instant speed rather than kill Meat Hook. Got some triggers. Can always yield to all of these. And we've got our loop. And let's see, but I think our opponent will likely not be able to stop it. Later on in this video, I may skip some of the Enduring Renewal loops if they're taking a while, but this is the first one that we're executing, so I will go ahead and show it. Definitely feel free to click through if you're not interested in watching me click Hangerback Walker 17 more times. 16 more times? No, 17 more times. 16 more times, because this will cause one set of triggers. Yeah. When it has said something. Oh, that was bad RNG. Interesting. Oh, they said that at the beginning. I guess they mean for the Burning Inquiry. They didn't get to put their Hollow One into play. Never actually run the math on that. You're probably more than 50% to keep your Hollow One, but how likely are you actually to keep your Hollow One? I don't know. So, what do we need against them? I mean, Prismatic Ending takes out Cookbook, takes out Asmo. Hope I don't think is needed. Pact I don't think is needed in general. Spell Bomb maybe against Ox. Leyline, I think they seem to be like, I mean they probably do have some amount of black because they're Hollow One, but it looked, I mean they had red green. I didn't see a black land. So I'm not necessarily expecting Thoughtseize. And then like, do I want another Meat Hook? Ending could be good against like Ragavan, or they could just have like random hate permanents. I think I do like Ending. Maybe I like the Meat Hook. I am expecting Haywire Might. 4 cards to cut. What don't I need? I don't know if I need the Springleaf Drum for a little bit of acceleration. The draw Profane can be a little bit slow. Profane is pretty good here though overall. I will keep Profane. Maybe it's cut a couple Preordains. And we're just trying to get there with like density of cards. And alright, yeah, let's just cut the Preordains. I don't love that, but I just want removal, and then yeah, basically every card that isn't removal is a combo piece. I mean, yeah, we'll keep this. So like for example, maybe they put an Asmo into play on turn 1, we can push it. If they don't, we can just like fetch out a Serval land. We have Beseech, we have Walker, we have the turn 2 Profane Suspend. Urza Saga would be a pretty decent pickup. They're Burning Inquirying. So they lose their Hollow One again. Okay, I mean that's good for us. We lost a Profane and gained more Profanes. So it was kind of like a net neutral for us, I would say. Picking up Enduring Renewal is like fine. I should, well, no, I can fetch. Yeah, I was thinking about like, yeah, if they don't play something I have to push, I can fetch a Serval land. I'm just saying 2 games in a row, they discard their Hollow One. But if they go, so with Burning Inquiry on the stack, 5, they go up to 8. Yeah, so it's 3 out of 8 discarded. So they're slightly better than 50% to keep the Hollow One, I think. Got Neonate. They're discarding Ox, okay. Got Asmo now, so I will push the Asmo. You got their cookbook, but they can't play it. So, I mean, That's fine. Again, let's just get that out of play. The Ox will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still 2 cards off on the Ox. So, I mean, they can definitely get there, but we'll risk it. So we're going to suspend this Profane. We do also need either a Meat Hook or an Altar. So, I mean, I feel like we're not in the best shape, but maybe our opponent's not in the best shape either. Goblin Lore? Oh, Dash Ragavan. So that doesn't really help them get closer to Ox, so I mean, this is pretty okay. They get a treasure, and maybe they have like land treasure, but you can see what they're gonna do. Yeah, they hit a Hangerback Walker. I'm not too concerned about that. I mean, okay, they can play a land and then play it on 1 if they really want, but I don't know how I feel about dashing that Ragavan. I mean, maybe if they had nothing else to do, but they're kind of committing to spending 2 mana on this for the rest of the game. I think I would have just played the Ragavan like hardcast. Although, if they need this treasure, maybe the math on that changes. But with the land, I don't think they needed the treasure. Now they have 2 mana, they could have just like played their Ragavan for 1 and then had 2 mana. I think people dash Ragavan too much is basically what I'm saying. Okay, so they will Hangerback Walker on 1. They've played a 2 mana 1/1. That's totally fine. We can suspend the other Profane, play the Marsh Flats. Yeah, see now they need to spend another 2 mana. It's just so mana negative to dash Ragavan. I mean, sometimes it's good to dash Ragavan, but it's not always good to dash Ragavan. Yeah, so we unfortunately aren't going to be able to get there next turn, but we should be able to get there the turn after with these double Profanes. Maybe, depending on what they do, we like get Meat Hook next turn. Hopefully they hardcast their Ragavan then. And maybe they played it to dodge Meat Hook. That's possible. Okay, they're dashing it again. Yeah, so they're just playing like cumulative upkeep 1 for this Ragavan. And sure, they hit us for 3 down to 12. I'm going to Surveil after. I'd rather like try to Surveil ourselves to a good card than try to Surveil them to a bad card. I'm going to hit Marsh Flats, that's totally fine. So yeah, I will get Meat Hook depending on what they do. Okay, Burning Inquiry. That's fine. Hopefully I keep one of those. I do. I have creatures. They play their hollow one. They have another. Like that. That'd be kind of crazy. They have an Asmo. Okay. They get a cookbook. So they do have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're representing 10 damage next turn. So I do maybe need to play a blocker. I'm going to get a Godless Shrine. Yes. No, Shadowy Backstreet is what I mean. Alright, so we can Surveil. Altar of the Brood we will keep. Oh, we're not going to be able to get it anyway, though, because we're going to have to search. Yeah, that was a little bit of a waste. I think the play here is play Hangerback as a blocker, and then get and play Altar. Alternately, we could get and play Meat Hook. But if I play Hangerback as a blocker, I play Altar, I can play this Watergrave tapped. The Hangerback blocks, I still have an artifact left over to use as Beseech food. So I think it's just Altar. Yeah, because otherwise I don't necessarily have an artifact for Beseech. Okay, we draw another Ballista, which is kind of not what we need. So we'll play Altar. Actually, I should not have played this first, because I don't want to mill them into a Vengefine. I should have played it last. Usually you play it first to get value out of the mill, maybe, but here our opponent has the possibility of getting value out of the mill. So just please no Vengefine. Hopefully this does not cost us. Not like to pay 2 life. And we hit the Vengefine, and that's our fault. And maybe they don't have the 2 creatures for it. I mean, we know they have Ragavan, but then what else do they have is the question. Yeah, I should have played that last. That was stupid. So they're gonna dash the Ragavan, it seems. Yeah. Is dash actually cast, or is it put it into play and cast it for the dash cost? Actually, not 100% sure of that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So technically, we are not dead. What are they playing? Oh, they're playing Ox. Yes, they're playing Ox, bringing back the Vengefine. So we can block to. Oh, no, the Ragavan is not dashed. They just hardcast the Ragavan. Okay, so they're representing 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage, but I can block 4 of it. The question is, do they have like land plus something? Discard your hand, draw 3 cards. Where did they not get a cookbook with that Asmo? I thought they did. Maybe they discarded it to something else first. We will block the hollow one, I guess. Alright, so we're at 3 life. Got a Hangerback Walker token. Mills our opponent a card. They have Leyline of the Void. That's good to know. If they have like, well, Surgical. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what gets us here. And if they have enough interaction out of the graveyard, that could get us here. But kind of don't have any way around that. So I could get a Stonecoil Serpent that plays around. Yeah, that plays around. Or I could get Urza Saga. No, I think Stonecoil to play around Surgical is like the best thing we can actually play around with what we have here. So I can play the Saga. We just have to hope that they don't have something in their yard that's relevant. I think they probably don't, but they could. Bargain away the Saga. Get our Enduring Renewal. Cast it. And now we've got a whole bunch of clicking to do. Right, so we always yield to that. We'll always yield to the altar, and hopefully we get game 1 here. I mean, maybe they have something, but let's see. I mean, I would be surprised if there was something that they had here. I mean, yeah, I don't think they'd be playing like a Creeping Chill. Okay, and they scoop it up. All right, so we win round number 1 over like Asmo, which is pretty cool. And let's go to round number 2, see what happens. Okay, so we're here with round number 2. We are on the play. Our opening hand looks pretty good. We do need to find some more lands, but we have Ballista / Massacre / Beseech, so we have the full combo. We also have a Pact of Negation to back it up. Profane can find our turn 4 land, so really we just need to find one more land on turn 3, and then we are ready for a turn 4 win with Pact backup. So I'm thinking we get we play our Marsh Flats and we go for a Surveil land on turn 1. And then turn 2, it's Suspend Profane. Turn 3, it's play Meat Hook. Hopefully this Surveil land finds us another land. Our opponent could be playing something where we maybe... Oh, Lotus Bloom Darkslick Shores. So we are up against Ad Nauseam, it looks like. And our opponent is Thought Seizing us. So what Profane can find whatever piece they end up taking. So that is good. Fortunately, it seems like they may not be able to win on turn 3. Okay, they take the Pact, which is interesting. I'm going to fetch get a Surveil land. So I need to get black. I could get Undercity Sewers, because it's possible that I'm going to need to Profane or if I get a Preordain, it's possible I end up casting the Preordain. No, Meat Hook is life loss, so we can take them below the threshold for a what's it called? Like an Angel's Grace. But I'm a little bit concerned right now. Okay, well, they have the second Thoughtseize. I was going to say, the first Thoughtseize on Pact makes me think that they have a Pact themselves, and that they're planning on pacting our combo and then gracing to kill us on their turn 4. But that's not how it played out. So that's a little bit worse for us. Okay, we do find the land, so that's a big deal. And I'm going to play the Meat Hook and then have a Surveil. Well, but the Surveil is actually not what we need here. But I do just need to get this into play, because our Profane's going to come off Suspend. I'm thinking we get an Enduring Ideal, and then we hope to draw another land. And I'm actually not going to fetch with this Marsh Flats. Our opponent has a Phyrexian on life, sure. The question is, do they have an Ad Naus for their next turn? So again, I'm going to leave this Marsh Flats unfetched to sort of maximize my chances of drawing that from our deck. And cast this Profane. Now the question is, can we get some sort of hate card? Not really. Yeah, there's nothing here that does anything. So our only hope is to just win faster. So we get Enduring Renewal, and we hope to draw a white-based land. And that's not a white-based land. So here, we can play a Ballista on 1, and we can hope that they don't have the full comp. Wait, why? That's not what I meant to happen at all. I wanted to play the Ballista for X is equal to 1. Why did it not even give me the chance to pay for that? Unless it did and I clicked through it, but that feels like something that was bugged. So if they have Ad Nauseam, they get us. I mean, they could also just have Grace Oracle and get us. So there's a lot of different ways we could be dead here. But let's see what they have. If they don't have it, we have a decent chance of actually being in an okay spot. They need their last 2 cards to be Oracle Spoils. They have Oracle. Oh, they're letting the trigger go? They let the trigger go, so they must need it for the Scry. So we're going to fetch a Surveil. That'll be Backstreet. We graveyard that. Land? That is also not land. By alter. Could Fatal push the Oracle? There's no need really though. Did they put a card on top? Let's see. I didn't actually look. It doesn't actually say what they did. They have a sleight of hand, sure. The Fatal Push is not going to matter for the Oracle here. Got to preordain that they hit with the sleight of hand, so they're digging a lot. 5, 6, 3, 4, 5. So, depending on if they're playing the offer you can't refuse pact setup. Okay, so they're suspending a profane. Okay, so they still don't have it. They're going to hit us for 1 with the Oracle. It's totally fine. Again, I'm not worried about fatal pushing this. Land? Okay, that's a land, but it's the wrong land. We needed a white source. What did they do? Okay, so their profane isn't coming off yet, so we still get another turn. But when their profane comes off, we are dead. They can get Naws, and maybe they just draw something relevant in the meantime. They suspend a Lotus Bloom, and then they're gonna hit us with the Oracle, I would imagine, or not. Okay, sure. Is it land now? Could it be land? It is another fatal push. So we are now not going to win because their profane is going to come off. It's hard to root against Ad Nauseam even if I'm playing against it. So they're going to tick down their profane. We don't really have anything in the main deck for this. Let's see what they choose to go for. They're going to get their 1 of Ad Nauseam and then play it, I would think. Maybe they're not playing a 1 of Ad Nauseam, but I suspect the last card in their hand is an Oracle, so they could also just get spoils. They're casting. Yep. I am going to let them click through this because I do want to see their deck. I know that, we are dead, but like, are they playing Offer Pact? Things like that are actually relevant bits of information. Pentad blooms. They're playing the full set of artifacts. They've gotten Otawara. Got Oracle. Obviously. Playing main deck Thought Seizes. They're not playing Offer Pact. Okay. Alright. I could have also thought about fatal pushing the Oracle just to make them think that maybe I think it matters. A little bit of a bluff game. Pithing Needle doesn't work against mana abilities. Hope of Girper I like a little bit. Ending, we could hit like an Unlife. Better than Push, which does absolutely nothing. What else don't I need though? I mean, Pact is okay. Meat Hook is really not at its best here. But Pact is actually not that good. And we do potentially need it to fight through their pacts though, so okay, maybe I'll keep it. We don't need all the endings. I really just want to be faster. Altar, I could cut like 1 altar. I could cut like a well, I really want to lose the consistency. Maybe no, I don't want to cut pact. I think maybe ending on the play is not as critical. Yeah, so we'll go like this. So I mean, if the blooms, we do get to potentially ending like a Pentad or an Unlife, but okay, how do we feel about this? We've got Profane, got 3 copies of that. This is a risky keep. I don't think I'm going to keep this. This is worse. I will keep it, but I'm not exactly excited about it. And the question is, do I keep this pact? Because I do want 2 lands. I want the Springleaf Drum. So I'm going to go turn 1 Drum, turn 2 Ballista to activate Drum. I want the Enduring Renewal. Maybe I don't really need the other Ballista. No, I think I actually am going to get rid of the pact. My play sort of lines up where like it's Drum into Ballista to have 3 mana, and then hopefully I draw another land and I can like turn 3 and Enduring Renewal. So none of our things target, so those don't do anything. I mean, we have 2 Thoughtseize in our deck, I guess, but we specifically chose our Altar and Meat Hook as our win cons because they don't target. So I'm gonna get the Water Grave in case I need to preordain. Play Spring Leaf. Opponent has effectively mulliganed to 5, so they've got a Suspend Bloom on turn 1. Okay, I mean that's good for them. We do need a... okay, we're going to take our Enduring Renewal here. 3 cards beyond this. So we are definitely a lot worse in the Pseudo Mirror, I think. Okay, that's a land, but it's not exactly what we needed. I'm going to get the Godless Shrine just to kind of ensure I have double white if I potentially need it. It also means I have triple black. Hopefully we're not in a spot where we have to beat them down with these ballistas, but you know, we'll see what they have elsewise in their hand. They've got 4 cards. Now one of them is a land. Pentad maybe? No. Okay. We do have the 4 mana that we need. Stonecoil Serpent. Do I want a Meat Hook? I mean, that is a key piece of the combo. Yeah, I'll take it because we do just need the combo pieces. But I think we are in serious trouble here. I'm just going to play a Stonecoil on 3. And we're just going to try and hit them with creatures, but it's not going to work. Next turn we just like can play a Meat Hook, but I mean, we just have to hope that they're sort of hitting the fail rate too, based on the fact that they effectively mulliganed pretty low. And they do only have 2 cards in hand, but, you know, do they have like a Gnaw? I mean, they only have the 1 Gnaws, so the odds are not that high. Annoyingly, I can't both... yeah, I can't pump Ballista and attack. I am going to attack here because I'm going to play the Meat Hook. Next turn, I may not attack with the Ballista to put a counter on the Ballista if I don't draw a land. Of course, I could just draw an Enduring Ideal, and then we don't have any issues. So basically, they could have it here. I think they're not that likely to, based on the fact that they had only a certain number of cards in hand. 2 cards in hand, now they need one of them to be Gnaws. Okay. So we did draw a land. We can attack with both of these. We'll put a counter on Ballista. Next turn, we actually can kill them. So if they don't get it here, we do get them. So we can pump Ballista, hit for 6, and then ping for 3. So they have Oracle. Did they draw the... okay, no, they're letting this happen. So this does mean that they live another turn because they can block with the Oracle. So, what do we draw? Thoughts? Well, no, Thoughtseize would be bad. Oh, Enduring Renewal. Well, that will do it. So we can play our Enduring Renewal. And even if they, oh, they have Pact. Okay, so they're going to do that. Okay, so they can block our Oracle. Or block our Ballista, I mean. Okay, so they do have to pay 5 for the Pact next turn. They'll have 1 card in their hand, so I think they're not likely to combo us next turn here. And then next turn we are representing lethal with Pump Ballista. And then swing 6, they block one of them with Oracle, take 3, and then we have 3 pings with Ballista. I will probably just use those pings straight away and force them to use a Grace if they have it. They picked up a land, they have 1 card in hand. On life? It is on life. Okay, so I mean they are kind of a ways away from comboing. But now we are further from killing them, so. Oh, and we drew another Enduring Renewal. Okay, so, I mean, sometimes you get a little bit lucky. You do have to show them that Meat Hook doesn't do anything here. Oh, but it actually, because they have the Unlife in play, Meat Hook truly doesn't do anything. So we're going to have to attack them after this. But we will put them below 0. They should not have conceded there. They were not. This is life loss, not damage. So it didn't actually represent lethal. Which means I should have this altar in. And Meat Hook is a little bit less valuable. Altar is the better win comp. I think I will cut a Meat Hook. I like ending a little bit more on the draw, I think. So they on turn 3 play like an Unlife, on turn 3 then we kill their Unlife. They're valuing Leyline so highly. Do I even want these Thought Seizes? Maybe I don't. Yeah, I think I actually don't if they're valuing Leyline that high. I think I'd like to just fully blank Leyline. Well, maybe they board Leyline out if they realize it doesn't work against the combo. But I think they'll board Leyline out. I don't think they'll. Got like a hanger back maybe. Yeah, if I think they're not going to board Leyline out, then maybe I do board out these Thought Seasons. But Thought Seasons is good if they. Yeah, I think I'd rather just be insulated against. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know how I feel about that. Hope is interesting. Altar's good. Stonecoil's part of the combo, so we can maybe use Hope to stall for a turn. And then we can combo them, so I like this. They don't have a Leyline. They did mull to 6. Okay, so I can go Hallowed Fountain, A2. I'm gonna get the Hope in play on turn 1 here. Also, Hope forms a lock with Enduring Renewal where we can like hit them, replay it, hit them, replay it, hit them, replay it. This is good against some decks. I should maybe think about having an extra Hope or 2 in the sideboard because of that. And specifically for the decks that just kind of can't beat a Hope every turn. It does represent like a 2-card combo. So here we will lead on Altar. I'm going to go Saga. Maybe we're making constructs and, you know, using them to try to get there. I don't need to use this Hope on, or to use this Hope now. I may have to use it next turn depending on what they do. They didn't have a Bloom. They didn't have a Pentad. They do have an Unlife. I think they're reasonably likely to just have a Oracle Spoils. So I'm going to go for a fetch land. Pull them. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, the question is, do we feel like we have to use Hope here? I think yeah, I think I do want to use the Hope with the idea of end step make a construct token and then Then I can get the Spring Leaf, and then I can have 5 mana so that I just have Pact available. Oh no, but I won't because of the Saga. That was maybe not the best. I maybe should have just risked it for a turn. Now, yeah, we do have to be shields down for a turn. I mean, if we draw, we could potentially just draw something that wins, but it's not that likely. Okay, so Profane. I'm going to use this Saga again. We're going to get a Spring Leaf. I can play another Saga. We are shields down for a turn. Depending on the order, maybe they don't play around Pact, and then they die or something. If they Spoils Grace first. Let's see what they've got. They have Thoughtseize. Alright, I mean, they're going to take our Pact, and they probably have us here, I think. Oh, they're just passing? Okay, I mean, sure. So, build them a little bit. Could play a Stone Coil, make a Construct, hit them for 10 down to 2. I don't know if I love that. I think I like developing this Profane. Attack with one of these. Make another Construct. I don't know how we're not dead, though. Like it's... we should be dead here. But, I mean, we do have one unknown card from their perspective. And they still... because they're not playing Offer, so they still don't have this with Gnaws. And get a Godless Shrine. Make another Construct. Prismatic Ending would be nice here. Let's see what we draw. They could have Pact, maybe. Okay, Ending is interesting. So if I go 1, 2, 3, I do still have the mana to make the Construct in addition. I will make the Construct. So then I have blue, white, and then I have the black from, like, I can play the Urborg, for example. Again, we can just mill them a little bit and get another altar. Just going for the natural mill. It's kind of funny. So we Urborg. Gotten rid of 3 Pacts, so, you know, something going okay there. So we'll attack with 2 of these. If they have some sort of removal or something like that, I would like to not lose our... like, if I'd like to not lose our ability to play Prismatic Ending. Question is, do they have Pact? They basically need Pact here, otherwise they're dead. Oh, they have Spell Pierce. Okay, that was a reason not to play the Construct. I wasn't really thinking about Spell Pierce. I feel like Naz is generally not playing Spell Pierce that much these days, but maybe. I mean, I feel like Spell Pierce is not as good as it was when Cascade was everywhere. If we lose this, and we do potentially deserve to lose this if we yeah, because we made the construct and we didn't need to. But they named Naws? What did they name? Did they have another Oracle? They named Naws, but 3, 4, 5. How are they getting up the mana? Are they gonna just draw? Yeah, I don't know how they're getting the mana up. Are they gonna just draw down to like maybe 1 card or something? And then go land Grace? But that doesn't... It's like damage that would reduce it to 1. That's not gonna work. Because they didn't have Pact Offer. Unless they have that in the sideboard. I'm not sure what their plan is. Alright, so it looks like maybe we threw, but then they threw back? What did they reveal? Yeah, they don't have Pact Offer. Yeah, so we definitely threw by playing the extra construct when we didn't need to, not playing around Spell Pierce, but then they threw back by going for it when they didn't have enough mana. Okay, so I mean, it's always cool to see Naws. It's been a long time since I've played against it. Unfortunately, we defeated it here, but well, you know, it'll it's still Naws. It's always cool to see, and our deck feels not favored against them because a lot of what we're doing doesn't really matter. I see they did cut the ley lines, so they learned from game 2. All right, on to game number 3. We are 2-0 so far, so that's pretty cool. And during Renewal, feeling okay. I feel like it's just not as strong as like a properly built spoils deck for like a 3-card combo in Esper colors. But I do kind of like having the construct plan. It's not so good here, but in other matchups it could be useful to have the like the sagas and then like the artifact creatures, so having combo pieces that are also doing something else. But the combo itself is a little bit weaker, so that's the trade-off. You're vulnerable to Grave Hate, and also vulnerable to, you know, all the sort of same things, discard, counter magic, whatever. Okay, so let's go to round 3, see what happens. Okay, round 3. So our opening hand, we only have 1 land, but we do have some creatures. We have Fatal Push. We have Enduring Renewal. I think this is going to be a mulligan, though, because we don't have... If we use Profane to get Alter or Meat Hook, this is a turn 5, and this is a turn 5 if everything goes right, and we have 1 Fatal Push to delay it, so I'm going to mulligan. This is, I think, better. We need a creature, but other than that, we're in okay shape. I'm going to ship the Beseech, or do I ship the Enduring Renewal? Or do I ship Meat Hook? No, I'm not going to ship Meat Hook. I think it's ship Enduring Renewal, because I know I can get 2 black, and while this could represent a white mana, I'll have either the Meat Hook or the what's it called, or the Altar to sack to the Beseech as a Beseech food. So Watery Grave. I could go Polluted Delta, and then depending on what they do, either fetch swamp and push it, or play a Surveil. So we have some options. So if they play like land Slick Shot or something like that, We can kill the Slick Shot instead of the Swift Spear. It's feeling like it is Prowess. Preordain, so we can let them buff this Swift Spear up and then kill it. So that's pretty good. And then we're going to play Saga on 2. Now we do need to draw a creature at some point, but I mean we have 10 in our deck, so we're pretty likely to draw one of those in the next 3 turns. Let's see what they go for. Are they going to use like a bolt effect now? So we should get priority in blocks, and that's when we'll take action. Then they have to commit to doing something if they want to pump it. Yeah. So they had to commit to using the bolt now, and you know we get to fatal push it because they went for the prowess. Just fetch a basic. We have triple black for this Beseech. We're going to go to 15, but I mean we kill their creature and we save ourselves 3 life through that. That's a good exchange overall. So we could play Sewers, and then that means that next turn we have the ability to... Well, I could also preordain now, but next turn we could play like Brave Meat Hook. Yeah, I think we're gonna go Sewers here. And do I want another fatal push? Question is, do I have time for it? And will it help me? Because ultimately I need a creature, right? So next turn, if my plays are Preordain plus Meat Hook, I just don't have time for this. So I need to ship it and find a creature. And the other option is I just like slow everything down by a turn. I don't think that's worth doing though. Maybe they have like Slick Shot and then they just kill us, but maybe they don't. You know, maybe they just don't have another creature. They're milling the bauble. And yeah, look, they don't. That's very good for us. So preordain. So I'm going to preordain first here, I think. Okay, so we do find both Altar and Ballista. So I think we're going to top these. Then we can play Altar. And then we can play the Watery Grave tapped and not take the extra damage from it. And we have Ballista on top, so next turn we're going to draw a Ballista. We mill a Swift Spear, so we got a little bit lucky with a cool mill there. The Urza Saga is going to be our Beseech food, and we're going to draw Ballista for the turn. Then we can Beseech away the Saga, go get Enduring Renewal, and go for the Altar of the Brood combo. Now, they do have the ability to get us with Lava Dart, but, you know, basically we're betting on the fact that we will be above 4 life, which I think is a reasonable bet given that they had no creature in play and no creature to play last turn. So we will yield to the Altar of the Brood. Urza Saga gets its mana producing ability. And we're going to just go for it. I mean, they could have like a Spell Pierce or something like that. Prowess generally doesn't play that main deck though. So, I mean, we'll see. If they have like a Spell Pierce or something, then they potentially get us, which would be a little bit sad. But we're not too far away from being able to combo again, if that's the case. I may be thinking about using a burn on us. So, I mean, in order to kill us here, they would need to have... They would need to have 4 bolts. 3 bolts is not good enough. I guess they could have... No, 3 bolts plus Lava Dart doesn't do it. It just has to be 4 bolts. And they should probably concede here if they don't actually have interaction, just because otherwise they're showing us their deck. Yeah, and they do. Okay. So yeah, sometimes people will not concede to this because I've done a little bit of testing with this beforehand, and sometimes people just don't concede with it, and it's like, well, why? You know, you're gonna make me burn 2 minutes off my clock, but in exchange, I'm gonna get to see your whole deck. So just concede to it. All right, so against Prowess, we want the removal. Thoughtseize, I'm not really interested in. Spellbomb. I don't know that Spellbomb is necessarily where we want to be. Leyline could be okay. It does turn off a lot of things, but the question is just, do we have the ability to cut things for it? I don't necessarily want to cut that many things. We could cut the Preordains, maybe. They can be a little bit slow. I like one pact to be able to beat, you know, whatever permission spell they have. We like Profane Tutor for it. Got like one creature. Do one Meat Hook for being a little bit slow. Yeah, I actually want to maybe lean a little bit heavier on Meat Hook because of the altar being awkward with the Lava Darts. Although if we have Leyline, maybe that doesn't matter as much. Springleaf Drum. Yeah, are we going to have a creature in play to use this? Maybe not. I know it's acceleration, which can make us faster, but I think it's not that likely to work out that way in practice. Maybe it's just cut another creature. Oh, actually, Hangerback I think is one of our better creatures here. I guess Serpent is... No, Serpent has reach. I think Ballista is actually the worst creature here. Maybe we'll go like this. So we're on the draw. We've got a Leyline, we've got removal. I'm going to keep this. Put the Leyline into play. We have removal on turn 1, and then we have an ending for the turn 2 Slick Shot. DRC, okay. Then we can maybe start pumping out some tokens or something. Let's see. Our lands are a little bit awkward because we really want to play the Surveil land on 1, but we kind of can't afford to. So I probably will not play this Saga on 2 unless I have to play this Profane so I can try and get construct value out of it. Godless Shrine. So I will play the Godless Shrine on 1. And then I'm just going to push this now so that they don't get the Surveil triggers. And again, if they play like Slick Shot or whatever, we have ending for it, so I'm pretty okay with that. Leyline does block their Lava Darts, so you know, we can pretty freely go for a mill kill all the way from turn 1. The plotted Slick Shot is a little bit scarier. Altar, okay. So we can play Profane here. I think... Are we... Yeah, we'll play Saga. And we'll suspend the Profane. And we do need to still find a creature, but this does represent... killing them with... what's it called? You know, like the Enduring Renewal combo. So Saga will get Altar, get Enduring Renewal with this Profane, and if we draw one of our 8 of creatures, then we're in okay shape. We are going to take a big chunk of damage here, though, which is a little bit concerning. But maybe they have like all lightning bolts in their hand, in which case they don't get to double count them as like they're just like red +2 damage. So they turns lightning bolts into shocks, basically, is what happens. We do get to ending this on our turn. It's probably going to be Marsh. Well, okay, so they're Lava Darting, so that's 1 damage themselves. Lava Dart again. So these are each 4 damage. So we're going to take 9, go to 9 if they sack 2 mountains. It's a little bit difficult for them to sack 2 mountains here, though. So we're going to take 5, go to 13, it looks like. Okay, that's not that scary. So Profane ticks down. We draw for turn. So here I can get a swamp. And then we can go for ending. Well, ending on the Slick Shot. And we might as well play this altar. And I mean, next turn we just have 4 mana, so and we can fetch a plains with this Marsh Flats. So we will grab Enduring Renewal with the Profane, and as long as we can hit a Tormod script, interesting. Okay, I mean that does. It means we need a second creature. So this actually kind of opens an interesting decision point, because do we get something like just like a creature, like a stone coil? We just try and clock them? I kind of like that, actually. Alternately, it's a creature, so then I need to draw 1 creature and 1 kill spell. What do we draw? Do we take... I think maybe we get a stone coil. And then we're going to draw for turn, and we draw lands. We will definitely be making construct. So they can use their lightning bolt as removal. They're doing it here. Okay, Unholy Heat. Interesting. That's very interesting. Yep, altar. Maybe we'll naturally mill them out with multiple altars. Go Shadowy Backstreet. Pick your poison, so that's kind of useful to get rid of. We will keep Enduring Renewal. And then we're just looking at finding a second creature. And then this Enduring Renewal will be able to win. So we can play Marsh Flats and then fetch out our other Surveil. Have a couple looks at another creature. We're not actually that vulnerable to pick your poison at the moment, which is nice. And we did get rid of a second Slick Shot, which is also nice. One's got 2 cards in hand. We're doing nothing with them. Play the Marsh Flats, mill them for 2. Getting rid of the Lightning Bolt was not the most useful. They could also have Surgical, so we do need to be a little bit mindful of that as far as like our Enduring Renewal options. So like if we had really one of each creature, that would sort of be strongest. Then we could beat Tormod's plus a Surgical. But I will go for it with the 2, I think. Would be funny if we just like naturally milled them out though. Alright, so Undercity Sewers. If they don't have, or if we don't draw another creature, it does become interesting. We think about when we're actually supposed to hardcast this Stone Coil. Then the other question is, now are we keeping this Urza Saga? So maybe we go on the creature plan and we just ignore the graveyard. Do we like play Saga, play a Stone Coil for 5, make more constructs? I'm gonna actually go for that. Yeah, I'm just gonna play a Stone Coil for 5. It's big, it has reach. Next turn we can make constructs. Just milling them too, which is kind of funny. I don't think we're gonna actually kill them with mill, but okay, they do have another unholy heat. So, but I mean, we're working our way through that. Now they could just have another creature, which would be bad, and I think they're pretty likely to draw another creature soon because they do not have that many of them in their yard. Depending on the creature, though, maybe it's something that the Saga tokens can interact with. So their draw was Bauble, so that means it's not a creature. If it wasn't Bauble, they would have played Bauble already, so I think their draw was certainly... Like, if they had a Bauble, they would have played it and cycled looking for the creature last turn. So I think it just makes sense that Bauble was their draw. It's like, why would you hold this back? I don't know. Pick your poisons. They're going to make us sack this Leyline or the Urza Saga. Question is, I'm actually going to sack the Leyline. I'm going to sack the Leyline. So they could have Bolt, but I mean... And this does let them Lava Dart us, but that just is 1 damage with each of these. If we draw another Leyline, we'll play it, but... I'm currently on this Saga as my plan for how we're going to win this game. They're going to have a couple cards next turn. I feel like my best draw would actually be like Fatal Push now. We're just not really on the combo plan. We are just sort of, well, if we don't kill them with mill, then this mill is just helping them because they're potentially getting to get more lava darts in their yard. So this does represent just finding them 2 damage that they otherwise wouldn't have. Meat Hook is okay. I mean, we do have enough lands that we can use it as a board wipe, which is nice. Getting rid of the pick your poison was kind of nice. Again, it depends on what else they have going on. So we're going to try to not use the marsh flats unless we can help it. Or unless we can, yeah. Can't help it. We can help it. Tarn, okay. So that's something that's not scary. They have a Meat Hook. Or they have a Soul Scar, I mean. So we can make some tokens. We're going to mill them more. So we did hit a surgical. I'm not going to fetch with this now because there is just the possibility that we actually kill them with mill, which would be crazy with these fetch lands. We can go get another altar. I mean, why not, right? And then we have... This represents kind of a lot of mill, actually. So we have 6 mill in play, plus if I were to play Meat Hook, that's 3 more, so I have 9 mill right now. This is weird. So I could play Meat Hook. leave my constructs back to block. Play Meat Hook on 0. Yeah, play Meat Hook on 0, mill them 3 more. We have 9, 10, 11, 12. They're going to draw 1 for turn, go to 18 cards. If I draw like a fetch land next turn, I actually just kill them with natural mill. But I need to put 2 more things into play. How likely is that? I'm going to just play. I think I'm playing this Meat Hook either way. I think there's maybe enough case for attacking with 1 construct. And this way, you know, if they chump with it or whatever, then we gain a life. And they could still get us with like Slick Shot and a pile of Lava Darts, but I think it's... Yeah, I mean, they have 3 Lava Darts. 1 Slick Shot, 2 Slick Shot. 1 Slick Shot is gone. We'll see what they do about this. Do they chump? They do not chump. But, I mean, us losing our construct does cost them a life too. Be a little careful about fetching also. Okay, DRC I'm not concerned with at all. Well, I'm a little concerned. If this game goes more than 1 turn, I'm a little concerned. I think I want to draw... Well, I want to draw a fetch land. I don't want to... Oh, man. We actually just mill them out, I think. So let me just recount this to make sure, but 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, this just mills them out. So I'm going to play the Marsh Flats first, just in case they have some sort of permission. Play Enduring Renewal. And we can fetch 3 times, go to 8. That's crazy. So we didn't combo, we didn't get there with Urza's Saga beats, we just got there with build your own Hedron crab. That's insane. Okay, well, we win the match. We're 3-0 with a sweet, sweet win over Prowess. All right, on to round number 3. Or round number 4, I mean, sorry. Okay, round number 4. We are on the draw this time. And we've got triple Altar of the Brood. Maybe we can get another natural mill win. No, I think that's not that likely. But I think this hand is just keepable for having 2 lands, Altar, Enduring, and then a Fatal Push. So we need to draw a couple lands. We need to draw a creature. But again, we have 10 creatures. Pretty likely to hit lands. Shelldock probably reads mill. Although I would love if this was some sort of inverter or spoils deck that involves Shelldock. So mill is probably bad for us. Okay, that's the creature though. We do just have push against crabs. So I'm gonna go for Polluted Delta and pass. Because I have these Alter the Broods, I can push a crab if I need to. I can fetch a Surveil land if I need to. I'm just gonna like slowly play these out. I'm just effectively I'm figuring I've like already mulliganed. All right, so this is again feeling like mill. So we'll get a Shadowy Backstreet so that we have the 2 white for Enduring Renewal. Surveil. And I will keep that on top. They could trap us. And they do. Well, sometimes that's going to happen. Do they have multiple traps? Hopefully not. But against surgical enduring renewal, hopefully not. But this is reading like Drown in the Lock to me. It feels like they have surgical and they're deciding what to surgical. I think if you see a card like Enduring Renewal where it is clear that I am playing an Enduring Renewal combo deck, you just snap surgical the Enduring Renewal. But maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Oh, they just have another trap. Okay, so they have double trap. 2 of our sagas are gone. Sewers, plains, swamp. So we still have a decent amount of lands left. Got a swamp, we've got a water grave, we've got a godless shrine. All the godless shrines are our hand. So swamp, water grave, Undercity. Oh no, sewers is gone. Plain swamp. There's a swamp, there's a water grave. Is that it? Oh, hallowed fountain also. Okay. Well, I mean, why are they taking so long on whatever they're doing? I don't know. I mean, double traps is bad. We do just have our whole combo though, which is nice. But also a main deck surgical and extirpate deck feels like an awful, potentially extirpate, but like a deck that is probably playing main deck surgicals feels awful for us to play against. What are they? Oh, they just have us below 20. Wait. No, we don't have 20 or fewer cards though. What? What? This number here says 25. I do not understand that play at all. Alright, we need some land. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what we need. I would like to play 2 life because it doesn't matter against mill. I'll play Walter and then I'm going to hold up push potentially for a crab. Like if they play like crab and then like fetch land or whatever, then they go for the fetch, then I can like push the crab in response to the fetch. Beseech. I mean, that's not really what we need. We will play more altars because we can play them as they can be beseech food. Crab is also not really that scary. Now we just need a land, but I think they certainly have Drown in the Lock, so I'm a little worried about that. Are they going to counter this? Please, please counter this. Okay, sure. I mean, yeah. Our opponent maybe is a little bit new to the deck. So maybe don't treat that as me like making fun of them. Although I still don't understand the shell dock play because that one just requires reading. No, but I mean they're probably new to the deck. They're probably learning. Everyone starts somewhere with a deck, so I don't want to be like, you know, rude. Okay. So I mean, and we're probably losing to them realistically. So that's also what's going on here. So while it may seem like there's really not a whole lot that has gone on in this game, like we've got double archive trapped and now we're probably just lost, we did have some interesting set of decisions about like sequencing how I was playing these Altar of the Broods and making sure I'm holding up Fatal Push. Like in a situation where I don't just like have to vomit these out as fast as I possibly can. That's actually a decent draw if it wasn't going to be a land that does let us play around surgical a little bit. I think their hand is permission, so. I'm not about to play one of these and go on like a beatdown plan though. I think that's just like close to 0 chance of working. Okay, so they're cycling Fractured Sanity. And then they're going to be able to shell dock us. So we still don't... Yeah, we still can... Oh, wait, 3 of our... Oh, no, our Enduring Renewal is in hand. So this Beseech is actually not a relevant card. Yeah, so we didn't lose any new lands, so that's good. So we just need a land. But on end step, they're casting this. What is it going to be? 2 Beseeches, 3 Enduring Renewals are gone, so like all of our high costs are gone, which is bad if this is like a Tasha's. It's a Surgical on Enduring Renewal, and we will scoop it up. Alright. That is the game. So against Mill, I'll bring in these Thoughtseize. I'll bring in these Pacts. Meat Hook. Nile Spellbomb, I actually like to nuke our own graveyard. Fatal Push is good against crabs. Leyline is mostly bad against them. We can go a little bit over 60. Hope, I don't think we need. Needle could turn off like a shell dock. Could turn off cycling on Fractured Sanity, but that's sketchy. Could just like Needle Field of Ruin, which actually might be relevant. So I'll bring in Needle. Do I want more removal for crabs? I feel like the 4 push is like okay as far as like crab removal goes. I don't feel like I need meat hooks. I feel okay submitting just like the 66 here. So we'll board in our good cards and out no cards. But again, this feels like a pretty rough matchup because we're a deck that kind of relies on the graveyard and is cold to a Surgical, and Mill is a deck that could be playing up to like 8 Surgical effects. We're going to keep this. We don't have any fetches, which is nice, because then we're not activating Archive Trap. Archive Trap is like the one card that Leyline is actually kind of reasonable against. I'm going to lead on Sewers. And I will take a Pact, because I feel like we're going to need it to potentially fight through a Drown in the Lock. Beseech is good in that it represents Enduring Ideal, but we do need some way to, or some artifact to sacrifice. So next turn we can think about playing Alter under their Drown because they've shown a willingness to counter Alter. And then turn 3 it's potentially like Hanger back plus Preordain. If I play Alter here, then we play the Surveil land. Basically what we're looking for at this point is a 4th land and a creatures. I'll take a creature, yep. That could just get milled, but I mean, does like, so what? So they have the Rune Crab, they're gonna mill. This also potentially insulates a Enduring Ideal a little bit, or Enduring Renewal a little bit, but do they have the Surgical is the question now. If they do, we're dead. And they're paying costs, so I think they do. Oh, maybe we won't actually scoop. Alright, well we're on the creature beatdown plan is what this means really. We'll try here. But our odds of winning this game just went way, way down. Last time I scooped because our cards were low enough that we're going to be dead even if they Surgical. Like even if like we had 2 Sagas, but like they needed one mill spell to kill us at that point. So, you know. Also, what is this league? We're playing against Adnals and Mill, 2 of my decks. Another Hedron Crab. Lovely. So we could use some fatal pushes. Hangerback Walker isn't really what we need at all. I'm going to go for the Preordain now. I maybe should have done it first, and then potentially, like, if I find an Urza Saga, I don't need these. Meat Hook could be good one day. Hangerback is very slow, which is not really what we need, but... Alright, so basically our only hope is to draw running lands while we pump up these Hangerbacks. Maybe I should have kept those lands, but I didn't have the Meat Hook at that point. Meat Hook and kill their crabs. It's just there's no real chance. Urza Saga is our best draw by far. Fortunately, at least they don't have fetch lands, it seems. Unless they just have like more crabs and they want to be able to play and like one fetch land and they want to be able to play it like last after they've played all their crabs. Getting rid of some profane tutors is good because I don't care about that card right now at all. We lost 2 fetch lands and an Urborg, so I'd rather lose fetch lands than mana producing lands, so I'm relatively okay with that. What is this? Jace? Yeah, it's a Jace because they took 2. Okay, I mean, sure. This is actually a problem though, because we're not going to be able to kill this Jace in any reasonable time frame. It's just going to get huge. So we do get to play a Delta. Kill them. Swamp. And then I'm going to just play this Walker on 1 so that I can play, so I can pump the other Walker. Because if I play a Walker on 2, it's effectively the same thing as playing a Walker on 1 and then pumping a Walker by 1. But we're in dire circumstances here. And they have the Archive Trap. It's even more dire. How many Sagas do we lose? We still have all of our Sagas. Okay. We draw another land. Like, if we draw... So I guess our best draw is, like, Saga, Meat Hook for 3, kill their crabs. I mean... not impossible, but we're at 17 lands, and Jace represents 12, so... possible. We are, in fact, dead. Sheldock. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'll scoop it. Alright, so, I mean, we lose to Mill. This feels like just a bad matchup. I mean, we're a combo deck that relies on specific cards, and Mill is a deck that can definitely attack that. So, we're 3-1, but let's see how the last round goes. Okay, round 5, we're on the play. We have a decent hand, I would say. We have these Preordains to help us find our other pieces. We have a couple lands. So, you know, we are kind of heavily leaning on the Preordains, but I think that's okay. I am going to use one of these Preordains right now, fetching a Water Grave, because I only realistically need one blue source. So I don't want to have a second blue source, so I'm not going to be able to play both of these Preordains on the same turn. So that means I want to just get one used now. We do find a creature with it, which is nice. Plains Aether Vial, so our opponent is on taxes. Meat Hook could potentially do a lot of work here. But let's see. Having one of our basics in hands against taxes is not good. And I am going to actually play Altar and then Preordain. I need to find another land. Altar, so yeah, so I want to be able to I need to Preordain with the blue source. So we'll put that on the bottom, put that on the top, and we do have our third land, which is a part of the process. We're looking for maybe getting a nice wipe with Meat Hook, if we can. It'll depend on what we draw next turn for what we do. There's a possibility we just hold this back and fetch a Surveil. There's a possibility that we play Meat Hook on 1. There's a possibility that we play Meat Hook on 0 and then Surveil. There's a possibility that we play Alter and Surveil. So, like, what could be the least threatening thing they might do? Like Stoneforge. Thalia is annoying. Now, fortunately, that doesn't actually stop our combo, but it does slow our combo. Again, I'm looking at being able to play a Meat Hook to wipe the board in some capacity. I could also play Ballista and just shoot the Thalia. I think that's not worth doing with a Meat Hook that I can play next turn for 1 in hand. Flip a Ghost Quarter, which I'm reasonably happy about. We'll play another Altar of the Brood. So we're going to go for Surveil land, and we're going to look for another land and or a Enduring Renewal or a Beseech. Now, the second Altar is actually pretty relevant for a potential Beseech line, so it's good to get that into play. So I like having that. Now, do they have like Land Arbiter? Okay, no. So they have Stoneforge. So that's not as scary. Now, note they didn't vial in the Stoneforge, so maybe they have some sort of other thing that they can vial. But let's see. Annoyingly, we can't Meat Hook on 2. We can only Meat Hook on 1 because of this Thalia. We will get dual lands rather than like single lands. Okay, so are they going to get us with Land and Arbiter here? I mean, there's no way we're not fetching there. Okay, all right, so we'll scoop it up. We have to play into that, because if we don't play into that, like, what are we doing next turn? So like we can play a land, but then okay, we fetch twice under the safety of paying 2 for the Arbiter, but then our opponent has the Arbiter in play, they have a Cauldron Complete in play, they're smacking us for they're smacking us for 9, we're at 5, and then we have to win the next turn, so we'd have to draw runner. Yeah, we'd have to draw runner, land, and Enduring Ideal or Beseech, but then they hold back the Ghost Quarter, still make us pay the 2 for the fetches. There's just no way we could have played around that. Alright, so we are going to begin sideboarding, so I do want another copy of Meat Hook. We want Prismatic Ending, that shuts down Vial, which is nice. Needle also can hit Vial, can hit Ghost Quarter, anything like that. Pact, not necessary. What else is not necessary? Probably the Preordains. Springleaf Drum's not at its best either. Profane Tutor is also not at its best. I might still keep them though. But also think about getting rid of or bring in like a Thoughtseize. I don't know if it's necessary. Alright, so Ballistas and Beseech. This is a keep. So we can just make our land drops. Hopefully find either an Altar or a Meat Hook, and then hopefully go for a win on 4. Ballista can represent a way to kill Thalia, so that's nice. And we will keep our basics in our deck if at all possible. Alright, so here we're going to get Undercity Sewers. Shadowy Backstreet is our better land, so I'd rather get this. We'll keep that. In case things like go wrong in some way. I'm going to play Ballista on 1 here, both to have an artifact in play for Beseech, and to have something that can shut down a Thalia, and actually to disincentivize them from playing Thalia. And then next turn we're looking at Alter, Surveil. I like Alter and then end step Surveil, and then hopefully winning the turn after, sacking our Beseech as the Alter food. Or sacking our Ballista as the Beseech food. They've got a Stoneforge. That's not that threatening. We're much more concerned about the Land and Arbiter plan. So like if they just like put the Caldra Complete into play next turn, then we are just totally fine. So picking up Walker is also decent. So I'm actually going to fetch down to 12. I'm going to get the Watery Grave. I'm going to play the Altar, and then I'm also going to play Hangerback Walker. Just so I have another creature into play. And it's like if they remove the Ballista, or if I have to Ballista a Thalia, then I can still have something that I can sacrifice to the Beseech. I'm not going to attack the Ballista into Stoneforge. Now, they could have Arbiter Ghost Quarter, which would definitely be bad, but I think it's more likely that I need the extra artifact into play. Although maybe actually that's wrong. Maybe I should just figure that like no, they're more likely to have Thalia than they are to have Arbiter plus Ghost Quarter. But are they more likely to play Thalia is the question. It's like if they have Arbiter Ghost Quarter, they're definitely playing it. And it looks like maybe they do, which is not good. Or not. Okay, they're Ghost Quartering their own thing. I mean, do they need the triple white? What do they need triple white for? They need Relic Warder. Okay, sure. They're gonna take our Altar, or are they gonna... Okay, they're taking Altar. And then they're ephemerating it. Okay, again, sure. Alright, so we're losing our board. Good stuff. So we permanently lose Altar, and then we effectively permanently lose Hangerback because it's under a Relic Warder. So it will be at 0 counters when it comes back. So now our best draw is Meathook. Hey. Hey, who would have thought? I'm going to get a Godless Shrine. We will chump attack. Actually, no, I'm not going to chump attack with this. So if I Meathook, they lose 1 life. They lose 1 life either way. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I Ballista first or not. This strands the Caldra Complete in their hand. Unfortunately, we still don't get to go for it next turn because this is going to kill our Ballista. So we do need to find another artifact. But we did wipe their board. They have 4 effective cards. They ghost quartered one of their own lands, so they're behind on lands. We can do something like just like play a Ballista on 2 next turn. And they have nothing to ephemerate now, which is nice. So that goes to waste. What do they have? They have Rest in Peace. Sure. Alright, so it looks like we're on the Ballista on 2 plan. And it's probably just going to be pumping this every turn and hopefully riding it to victory. Maybe. Maybe we suspend the Profane. But let's see. We could also beseech for an Urza Saga. They could also target our Ballista here and effectively kill it. So we will ping the Flicker Wisp. Then we will ping them. So they've killed our Ballista. Fortunate. Meat Hook's still doing work though. Well, I mean, like, not really, but like slowly over time it does work for us. Prismatic Ending, so I could eat this Rest in Peace and then suspend a Profane. I think I like that. Although, yeah. Because now I could be back on the combo plan if I can find another creature, which I can in 2 turns. So like I can just beseech as a tutor without the bargain next turn for an Enduring Renewal, and then the turn after that my Profane comes off, I get a creature, then I cast the Enduring Renewal and hopefully win. Now I need to draw a land in order to be able to do that. Now I can't do that. Alright. So Meat Hook is our top choice once again. Altar of the Brood is not our top choice, but we will put it into play. So I'm thinking I pay 2. Well, I pay 1, then I play 2, and I'm searching for a Meat Hook, and I'm hoping I draw another land. I think that's just the play. Take 1 more attack of these, so this is going to put me to 8. Next attack puts me to 4. Not good. It's definitely not good. The thing is, I need to decide if I'm... Yeah, I mean, I do just need to search. Hopefully they don't have, like, another scary creature. They have a Stoneforge. Alright, we know the last card in their hand is Caldra Complete. So, we are dead unless... I'd have to pay 3 for this. Meat Hook on its own is not good enough. I could draw like a Fatal Push and push the Stoneforge. So I think that's actually what it has to be. I have to push the Stoneforge, take off attack for 4, and then I have to... Yeah, and then I have to draw a land, and then next turn I have to top deck Meat Hook. So I need runner top decks here. Alright. Nope. That's not it. Alright, so we end up 3 and 2. And I feel like the deck, you know, had a pretty good time against decks that it should actually be okay against. And then we had a rough time against decks that feels pretty good against what we're doing. mean, the Lane and Arbiter deck feels pretty bad when we're so reliant on tutors between Profane and Beseech. So there's that. Meat Hook was good, but, you know, that felt a little bit rough. Mill naturally felt a little bit rough. Prowess felt close, but winnable. We felt favored against Asmo. We felt unfavored, actually, against Ad Nauseam, in my opinion, but we still got there in that one. The deck is cool. I do think it is just good general policy to revisit any sort of deck that has a win the game 4-drop that it had some consistency issues in finding in light of Beseech, and this is something I will be doing more of going forward. I'm like sticking Beseech into 4-drop decks, I mean. I don't necessarily know that there's too much of a reason to play this over like an Esper spoils type of list. Those just feel like they're better at doing what this deck is trying to do. I do like the alternate plan, but you can also definitely just like play Saga in some sort of like Beseech Naws type of shell, and that also just feels better. But also Saga doesn't really feel that great if you're not fetching specifically Amulet of Vigor. I guess it's okay in Affinity, but I don't know. Okay. So that's my thoughts. This is the deck list one more time. And next time we'll probably be messing around. I think I want to mess around with some of those pillage lists again. So I was looking at versions that have Search for Tomorrow, versions that have Wishclaw, to try to smooth things out a little bit more. Not 100% sure that's, oops, that's eggs. This isn't during Renewal. Not 100% sure that that's what I'm going to do next, but I'm leaning that way. Modern's in a bit of a weird spot because it's a bit of a lame duck format here, waiting for MH3. I do want to play more Pioneer 2 at some point. I've got an RCQ coming up next weekend, so we'll see how that goes. At the moment, I'm probably going to just play Lotus Field, but I don't know for sure. Then there's also Legacy. TES has been something that I've wanted to play on vid for a little while. I could also do more Doomsday, but Legacy also feels a little bit like a lame duck format because I feel like either Bowmasters or Grief is gonna get the axe at some point soon-ish, and I don't necessarily have any Legacy tournaments coming up immediately. So we'll see. All right. Until next time, keep using Beseech the Mirror to find your combo win cons, and then using Urza Saga to have enough food to sacrifice to it. All right. Bye, everyone.